Tonight's episode of Bloody Screen Podcast was filmed in a live studio audience. Welcome to the Bloody Screen Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, and today I have with me our audience, Nick. Say hello. We have our we have the Kramer of the group, Nikki G.
Really? I'm the Kramer? Do I have to bust through a door now?
Yeah, you bust through the door. What?
It's not racist.
I know. Jerry! I think I'm the only one out of us four that actually watches Seinfeld, too. And I got my George. Yeah. I don't really know his last name.
Yay!
Dustin!
I need new glasses.
You
What?
need new glasses. And yes, in case you don't realize, Nick is kind of also the Elaine of the group.
George does wear glasses, right?
Yeah, George wears glasses.
Hey, yo, I know my shit.
Yes. Does that character wear glasses? Yes. I'm ready for the Seen It Seinfeld edition. Oh, yeah. Motherfucker. Today has been one hell of a day, guys. Let's go with what's been going on with you guys.
The Walking Dead.
Nick's been watching a lot of Walking Dead, and I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Nick G, what have you been up to besides fucking working on our goddamn site, which is up and running? Everyone give Nick a round of applause. Not sarcastically.
Well, right now after this, I'm going to be downloading the beta for Battlefield 4, but besides that,
Is that actually up now?
Yep. Well, I'm pretty sure it should be up by now. It's supposed to be released today, but anyways, woke up this morning, well, didn't even go to sleep this morning. I was all up all night. I looked out the window at 5, and it's all snowing and shit. I was like, wow. I guess it's not that big surprise in Colorado, but.
Yeah. Yeah, it isn't, but it was one of those things where I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's Christmas? Oh, wait, no, it's fucking October. This shit shouldn't be happening. Dustin, how have you been doing? Whatever.
Man. Not bad.
Dustin, I always love your responses. Usually most people have like some story. Nick usually says, I'm doing something. Nikki G is like, oh yeah, I've been doing this, and this. I'm doing good.
Well, school, League of Legends, and Netflix pretty much take up most of my time.
That's good. Whatever makes you happy. Me, I've had one shitty fucking day. Alright, so I wake up this morning, gotta go to the dentist. And, oddly enough, on my way to the dentist, I'm singing like the weirdest version of the Candyman, where I'm just sitting there like, who can make your teeth hurt and make you feel like shit? Who's the one that blames you for everything? The dentist can. And I was just doing that. I was just driving all the way to the dentist, just singing that song. I don't know why. It just came into my head, and plus there was nothing on the radio, so I'm singing that. I get to the dentist. Not only am I literally sit in that waiting for a half an hour. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, my appointment was like a half hour ago, but whatever. You guys are clearly busy on a Friday morning. So yeah, it's like, what, was the traffic busy because I didn't hit any coming up here? When I finally get in there, I'm sitting in the chair. They're like doing that thing, trying to make small talk when your mouth's open. That always makes a lot of fucking sense to me. So how's things going? Oh, that's good. I could have just told you my wife died. You didn't understand a word. But then she starts, you know how the dentist, I don't know, you guys all go to the dentist, right? I know Nick does, but I think the rest of you do, right?
No,
I've been to the
dentist.
If that counts.
I'm sorry, you both talked at the same time. One at a time. Nikki G, do you go to the dentist?
No, I just let my teeth all rot out, and I replace them with candy corn every year.
That is awesome. Dustin,
I said I've been to the dentist, if that counts.
How many times? Like
5 or 6.
Okay, well, sort of. But if you've ever had a routine cleaning, they like to take that sharp metal stick and just jam it in your mouth and just keep scraping until they can't scrapes no more. Yeah, so they were doing that to me, but the lady who was doing that to me was getting awfully close to my gums. And that's me being very generous, saying awfully close. I'm saying she was getting my gums the entire time. I've been going to the dentist since I was a wee young lad. Never once I actually got hurt there until today. Where I'm sitting there literally just like, I'm like clenching my fists. I'm just like, holy crap, this hurts. What are you doing? God, you don't have to get the gum itself. It's the teeth that need to be cleaned.
Yeah, I think they're the medical professionals, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to say that, but the thing that really pissed me off, like, it's not the fact they were scraping my gums. That hurt, but I'm like, whatever. Maybe my gums had shit on them. I don't know. But they blamed me. They blamed me because my mouth was bleeding. They're like, well, the reason why your gums are bleeding is because you don't floss enough. I was like, really? Is that it? Really? It's not that sharp metal thing where you scrape tissue.
My gums never bleed at home.
I know. I'm sitting there thinking like, yeah, really, my gums don't normally bleed. It's not like I just wake up one morning like, oh fuck, probably should floss. No. They tend to bleed, tissue itself tends to bleed when a sharp metal stick is just jabbing at it and scraping motion. I'm sorry. I don't think it's my fault.
Yeah, Brandon's walking out of the dentist's office, there's a lollipop just crying.
I know. I kind of wish there wasn't a bunch of old people in. I kind of wish there was a bunch of kids just so I could be screaming just, oh God, you guys are butchers! Get out of here! This is just a routine checkup! And just keep... And then afterwards just be like, oh, that was
especially since I'm sure someone like you doesn't have to pay.
No, I don't pay. They did, so I don't even...
Just scream on your way out the door.
Can I get a toy? Yeah, and they've been trying to, they're like almost mafia status trying to get me to get my wisdom teeth pulled because the fuckers are in. They're in and they don't hurt, so they're like, oh yeah, they're fully in. Are they bothering you? I'm like, no. Oh, you should get them pulled. I'm like, well, no, I'm sorry. So they're in completely. They're not fucking up my mouth, and you still want them pulled. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy.
That's not even that bad, you pussy.
That's unnecessary surgery. Why should I get my teeth pulled for no reason? I was like, you know what, I'll get them pulled when they start rotting out of my skull. Then I'll be like, yeah, just go for it. I don't care.
Well, if they're rotting out of your skull, they just fall out.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Where you can just, like, I got this actually. There we go. Yeah, no, I don't need to pay you. I don't pay you anyway, but I'll get it maybe later on down the road. The guy was making some good points, like, later on you wait, they're hard to keep clean, and, I don't know why I'm kind of making him almost Patrick Warburton. If you don't really want to deal with that, I don't blame you, but... And then, of course, I don't know, Nick, if you get this all the time, but at the end of the day, after the end of the dentist, they always say, you really should floss. And they always give you that complimentary floss. I mean, so,
yeah. And then it goes right to the trash.
I don't throw it away. I'm actually getting a collection. Eventually I'll be able to open Brandon's Floss store where I can, Brandon's Floss Emporium for all your flossing needs. We only have the same brand. It's the same brand I get for free.
Well, that's great marketing. You could just go up to the people, see, this is what happens when you don't floss.
I know, this is what happens when you don't floss. What? Exactly.
You start poking your teeth with your gum with little metal rods.
A metal rod, just scraping them, making them bleed. See? If you flossed, your gums would be steel.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the floss, I keep like one or two for emergencies, like if I'm eating popcorn or something. But mostly I keep the toothbrush, because that way I don't have to pay for toothbrushes.
I have an electric toothbrush, so I don't pay for toothbrushes anyways. But, what?
I just use a water pick. So much easier.
Yeah. I use an ice pick. It's just better. But yeah, I use the floss for case, they asked me like, when was the last time you flossed? I was like, the last time I ate red meat. I mean, the last time I actually had shit between my teeth. That's the point of floss, to get shit out between your teeth. If I don't feel it, I'm not saying it's not there, but if it doesn't bother me, it's fine. And I don't know about you, Nick, every time I get my teeth cleaned, they feel vulnerable. It's like I like having that layer of plaque there as a protective barrier because my teeth are just strong. Once they scrape it off, I'm like, it's all so, God, that breathes. Oh, and I just gross so many people out.
That's disgusting.
I made that joke one time. The dentist did not find that funny. I made that joke to them. They're like, you should floss. I'm like, but I like the plaque there, so it's a protective barrier. They just gave me that look like, that's not funny. I'm like, what shit. I'm sorry for making light of your situation. Now, I didn't get the job where I have to scrape at people's teeth for an hour a day. I mean, the hell with you. Don't be a dental hygienist. Be the dentist where he just walks in there, looks at your teeth, and be like, "Yep, that happened," and walks out. I was like, you have the easiest job in the world, dude. You rarely probably ever do anything. But anyways, enough about Brandon's adventure to the dentist. For people who don't know, Walking Dead Season 3 is finally out on Netflix, so let's give
Walking Dead Season 4 in a week, and some change.
Yeah. Well, Walking Dead Season 4, and the Battlefield Beta is going to be up soon, then I'm going to have to say, Nikki G, you and me are going to have to do a bloody time with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch me cry on...
I love watching you cry.
Everyone likes watching me cry. It's just a beautiful thing.
I'm going to break down every...
It's not beautiful, it empowers me. It makes me feel better about myself because I'm not in the corner crying like a bitch.
Well, today you're not, sir. Remember when they got your order wrong at Big City? I didn't want sour cream. Take it back! Take it back!
That was like 2 times. Okay?
That was 2 times yesterday. And the guy was just doing it because he kept laughing.
That guy was a tool.
Actually, that guy really was a tool. I was kind of getting pissed at him because I was sitting there. I was ready to ring up, and I was like, "Really? You're gonna go over there and talk to your friends again? Just bring my ass up and talk to them. They're not even 10 feet away from you, dude." Oh, I was getting. I know I was getting kind of annoyed with that. I was about to say, you know what? If my burrito wasn't on your side, if I didn't also think that you would hop over this counter and may attack me.
He was wearing a nose ring.
Yeah,
he's harmless.
Yeah, that is pretty lame. And it wasn't even like a nose ring where it's like the bowl thing where it's in between. It was like he had a girl nose ring in. It was kind of weird. I was like, dude, that little stud is for what girls do. Guys,
it wasn't even a stud. It was a legit ring.
Was it a ring? I thought it was a stud. Huh, whatever.
Yeah, no, it was a legit ring.
Oh, okay.
Which, my logic is, if he wanted to pick a fight, I had leverage. Just took my little pinky under that thing, he's like, nose.
Just rip it out. See? Oh, I didn't even have to throw a punch. Then that hurt like a bitch. Oh, fuck. Before we get started, let's go around our virtual table. Yeah, in case you guys haven't, our local racist in Colorado isn't on the show today. Scott, he's being chased down by the Asians who found out where he lives. Won't tell you who gave him that number. But
it was me.
I know. I have to say, anybody listening to this right now, go see our site, because Nikki G spent an entire week working on that, and it looks awesome. It really does look awesome, and next week...
No!
Next week, I will get our own domain just to make it officially professional. And we'd be like, yeah, sir. We still don't edit or anything because we do our shows live. Wink. Well, not really.
It was raw.
I know, it's raw.
I like my meat bloody.
Yeah, bloody, raw, like a good steak. Just passed over on the fire where you have to a knife doesn't even cut through that fucking thing. You gotta go at it like an animal. Yeah. But anyways, let's go around the virtual table. I think I already know Dustin's answer, so I'm just gonna go with you first, Dustin. What have you been playing this week?
Take a guess.
Okay, I already know then. Alright, League of Legends.
Alright, yeah.
World of Warcraft? I don't know. Nikki G, what have you been playing this week?
Just Battlefield 3. I mean, I haven't really been on PS3 this week, mainly.
Training for Battlefield 4 so you don't look like a dumbass when you start the bait up. You're like, yeah!
Yeah, so I have to carry your ass all the way through.
You're gonna carry my ass.
Stopping every 30 seconds. Brandon!
I'm like, Nick, I got the repair tool. What do we need? Brandon, there's no vehicles on this map. Damn it! I picked a sniper. This is a close quarters map.
There's no room for snipers on the field of battle.
What are you being a vagina for? Go grab a gun with a machine gun. Alright. I got a machine gun. Great. We're against the tank. Fuck! Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to play the Battlefield 4 more, because the Battlefield multiplayer, people, is fucking awesome. I mean, that's the only thing worth the shit in the battle. They are like touting, Battlefield 4 is gonna have an awesome single player. I'm like, haha, you keep telling yourself that there, pal. I'll believe it when it actually happens. Yeah, so we got that. Nick, what have you been playing this week? I know it's not GTA. I know it's not GTA Online. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, it kind of is.
Oh, did you get it working?
No, but I still tried to play it. I got through the loading screen.
You can't. Okay, maybe people, many people have experienced this. Nick, tell the people what has been going on with your GTA Online.
Well, you see, as soon as I gain control of my character, and he walks to a race, which, according to you, is a one-on-one race with a computer.
That's what it was.
Yes, I sit there and it loads, it starts waiting for other players, which it never finds. And I sit there for, 10, 15 minutes hoping it'll load, listening to their shitty techno before I get tired and turn it off. And it has been like that for the last week.
I don't know why they haven't, I don't know. It really, I think we even brought it up in the review, Nick, which will be out after this, but why the fuck would you release the multiplayer if it wasn't ready? Wasn't that the point of them waiting on it? Wasn't that the point of it coming out in October instead of when the game was released?
From what I've seen, they're saying that they weren't expecting this many people, which I call bullshit right there.
We weren't expecting this many people when this many people bought the goddamn game.
So they're in the process of buying more servers because their servers are not big enough to hold 1 billion people.
Alright, yeah, no kidding. I've been playing the multiplayer, folks, and it's fun. It's actually rather a lot of fun. Especially when you get to do a mission with somebody else. Like, I was able to get a mission with Sean, one of our friends. He actually kind of carried our ass because I died like immediately. They gave us, the one thing I liked about that mission is they gave us one life, and I died first, and then he died, but since, I guess, you think I would be able to get the life, but I didn't. He's the one that got the life. And I was like, that doesn't really make any sense if I'm the one that died first. Unless he died slightly, like a millisecond before me. I'm not 100%. But, yeah. So he basically finished the mission. But I was having a blast just messing around. I was the dickwad I hate, where I went on open mic talking to Nicky G and Nick here. But I did not have my headset on. I just had the mic going. And I would just talk. I was just talking to them. And I could sort of hear other people responding to me, but I would not respond to them. And I was trying to go as if, I don't know my mic is on, type of thing. Like as if I left the Kinect on the whole time. So, yeah, fun. Sometimes Brandon likes to be an asshole on the internet. Sometimes.
All the time. Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, 95% of the time. What have I've been playing this week? A couple of games, actually. I played GTA Online. I've played Warhammer 40k Space Marine, which is a hell of a lot of fun for some reason. That's like one of my guilty pleasure games where it's just so fucking cool. Plus I'm a Warhammer nerd, so it kind of just... and then my other fucking nerdiness of Star Wars, I've been playing Battlefront 2 this week a lot.
Nothing nerdy about that. That game's awesome.
That game is so cool. I mean, when you get the final mission in that where you get a fight on Hoth, I was just like even killing rebels on Hoth and getting to be Darth Vader. I don't know why I'm turning into Jerry Lewis, but
no, I was thinking more like Dr. Finkelstein.
I don't know who that is. Anyways, yeah, I've been playing those two games this week. I actually beat them both within this week. I was pretty happy about that. But, anyways, let's continue on with the Top 5, brought to you by us, because we're the ones giving you the Top 5. Global, Europe, or USA, guys?
It never seems to matter what I say.
Global.
Global for...
Europe.
Europe for Nick. Nicky G, what are you going to pick?
That's good, global.
Global, okay, it's global then.
Damn it, Nicky G.
I'm glad he didn't say USA, because then I'd have to be the deciding factor and everyone would be like, yeah, Brandon, you don't ever pick mine. But
except for the person you agreed with.
Except for the person, yeah, exactly. Alright, what is number 5? Oh, by the way, this is September 21st, 2013, because this shit rarely gets updated. Actually,
gee, I wonder what number 1 will be.
Yeah, I know, honestly. Alright, number 5 is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. I don't...
Suck it!
Yeah. What are you sucking it? I don't like the game. I didn't say it was gonna do bad. I said I don't understand why people like it so much, but I know it's a popular game.
Well, the statement still stands. Suck it.
Yeah, suck it. Yeah, number 5 is it's that game. It's doing freaking well. It sold, I guess, I wish video game sell charts would be a little bit more,
in
depth and how many units are actually sold. Like, I don't know if this is the total units sold or units sold this week, but it's 81,000 units sold. Either total or this week, I don't know. That's quite a bit of money for a game they just put an HD slap on and said, let's kick it out there. Maybe fix the controls a little bit, because if I remember correctly, the controls weren't the best. They could have been a little bit more refined. But I don't know. Nick, you're the only one I know that's really a big fan of this game. Or these games. Not this one.
Controls were fine.
Tomato. Yeah. Alright. They're about as good as a Zelda controls.
Zelda controls are fine too.
2D Zelda controls are fine because that's 2 buttons. Other Zelda controls are not fine.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I was like,
N64 Zelda controls weren't fine, but that's because the N64 controls were kind of janky.
N64 controller was a janky controller itself. It's the only controller I've ever seen, though, that have a button at the bottom of the controller.
Besides the Wii.
Oh, well, I guess the Wii too. Yeah. Well, the Wii's kind of more where Wii I count as kind of a trigger, not really a bottom.
That's what it's kind of what it is down there.
It works as a trigger, but it was literally at the bottom of it wasn't at the end of the controller, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, I love the N64, but that controller had some problems.
I
don't know who the hell they were trying to advertise that for, especially for first-person shooters. That was a horrible controller for, GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah. I remember this really, we have a buddy of ours, Cameron. He would laugh. Him and I played against each other in one of the Turok game that was on the N64. We were fighting against each other, but I never owned an N64, and it's like one of the few first-person shooter games I played on, that and GoldenEye. And he was kicking my ass. He's like, man, you suck at this. I'm like, dude, I'm used to PlayStation at this point in time. Where the controllers are fairly frickin' normal, where we have the joystick on the left side instead of right dab in the middle. And
there's another joystick.
Yeah, and there's another joystick for looking and all that. And he's just like, man, you just suck at this. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Years ago. Granted, we didn't talk like that. We were young, so we were like, you're dumb, stupid head. We didn't say fuck you, motherfucker. Don't.
You should totally say that now.
Yeah, I know.
Our casual get-togethers, we're just
Ooh. One at a time.
You.
Dustin, go. You were talking first.
In our casual get-togethers, it was an add-on. We can't just pause and fuck it. Never mind.
Yeah, okay. I didn't pause. I was just you guys started talking at the exact same time, and I know what everyone's gonna hear. Anyways, number 4 is a game I guaranteed no one would get because I sure shit wouldn't. Pro Evolution Soccer 2014.
Ooh, I love that game.
It's not FIFA though, right?
No, that's not FIFA. FIFA wouldn't be out yet. FIFA would have been next week.
Oh, okay. FIFA's gonna be on the next week's chart.
Yeah, it would be, especially for global. FIFA will be. Honestly, it sold pretty well for a game that's basically coming up against FIFA. I think they did fairly well. They sold 131 units, so 131,000, I should emphasize that. Yeah, they sold only 131 copies. They did pretty fucking well. 131,000 copies. That's pretty good, but this is global, so, people love, globally, soccer is huge, so, and the fact that they call it soccer is actually kind of amazing. It seems like it's a PS3 exclusive as well. You know what I'm also surprised, though, is that Madden's been debunked. Because Madden was pretty up there for a while, but, yeah. Number 3 is Monster Hunter 4. Nick, I really want you to play this game, because you own a 3DS.
I do.
You really should. Apparently this game's pretty fucking good, because it's number 3 globally, so, granted, if Scott
Japan.
was, I was gonna say, if Scott was here, he'd be screaming in our ear, Japan! Japanese people! Ah! But, yes, they are a huge market for this. Especially, they're a huge market in the handheld district, because they don't really spend a lot of time sitting in front of a TV.
But see, the problem with that is, Pokemon comes out in a few days.
Oh yeah, I'm not telling you to actually buy, Nick, buy this for a review. No, I'd rather you get Pokemon, actually, and then you play that, and then you review Pokemon, because it'll be our first handheld on this thing ever. I don't think we've ever reviewed a handheld on this show.
Well, I mean, technically,
Technically what?
Dragon's Crown.
Oh, but that's also on the console.
But that's
the same
why
damn
I
game. I mean,
Talk about a game that Dustin Bond was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him finally back on reviews. Then he hardly played him. Like, well, I don't think I want to. Dustin's gonna be able to really review this game, being that he played 2 missions. Did you ever get any further in that game, Dustin?
nope.
Oh, that's
I'm very, I don't know if bipolar is the right word, but I don't know, games tend to be hit or miss for
That's
me.
not bipolar.
Hit or major miss. Let's put it that way.
That's you being picky. Bipolar would mean if you love a game and all of a sudden, like, randomly out of the blue, fuck this game! But
I don't want to waste my time on a game that's just decent.
well, I'm kind of excited to see your top 5 then, there, Dustin, at the end of the year, where you could be like, nothing was up to my standards. League of Legends, even though that didn't come out this year, League of Legends.
That's a damn good game, man.
Yeah, and of course, number 1 and number 2, same game, because another problem I have with VG charts is they have to show me 2 different consoles and just throwing it all in one. They couldn't possibly do that math. Yeah. It's the Grand Theft Auto 5. This is where I want to say it's just this week they sold alone, because it's only both of them are only 8 million a piece. So, that'd only be 16 million. See, look how easy I did that math. Fuckers. It's not that hard to put the 2 numbers together and be like, oh, it's this. Jesus.
It'd be 17.2-ish, actually.
Well, I mean, actually, it'd be probably even more than that, because it's 88,800,000 and all this bullshit. So it's more numbers. I just generalize. So
round down
you
by
can't do that
1.2
math.
million. No biggie.
yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's not the big deal. They sold about 8 million a piece each console. They're doing fuck it. That game's. We're not going to see that game debunked, in my opinion, until probably I don't know. I think Batman.
When does COD Ghosts come out?
Not till November. I don't think it's going to be up there till November. Like I said, I want to say end of this month when Batman comes out. Because as much as I'm excited for Beyond Two Souls next week, it's not going to beat this game. Not even close. And
Beyond Two Souls does look pretty badass.
it does.
Even though the main character girl looks a lot like Ellie.
Oh, well, you heard about that Ellen Page being pissed off that Ellie looked like her.
Looked, sounded, and acted like her.
Yeah, exactly. She was pissed. I mean, at least Ellen Page is actually Ellen Page, and then we got creepy-looking animated Willem Dafoe in it. So, I kind of wish he would just, look at the screen one time and go, Spider-Man! in his creepy, Green Goblin voice.
Just drops to his knees, puts his hands up.
Platoon style. At the end of the game, he's just getting shot 800 times.
And then, of course, you gotta keep the classic, there was a firefight!
I know, and there was the rest of the show, we're just gonna be quoting Willem Dafoe movies. We're just and then, I'm trying to actually think of another one. Willem Dafoe is one of those guys where he's a good actor because he's a goofy looking motherfucker. He did not get it by his looks. You're like, he's definitely just a good actor. I do like Willem Dafoe though. I even liked his Green Goblin when others don't. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but
I thought his Green Goblin was pretty damn good.
I thought his Green Goblin was good. Not as good as the Octavius. I really like the Octavius that one dude did. I don't remember his name, but and we could all agree somebody's Venom was the worst, but
Topher.
Topher Grayson, who doesn't really work
Foreman.
anymore. I know. But anyways, that's our top 5, brought to you by us because we're conceited like that.
Brought to you by us because fuck you.
Because this is our goddamn show. No one's sponsoring us anyway, so why would we be brought to you by anything? Alright, Nikki G, bring us on with the news. I don't know, I'm roping in the news. Go.
You get that damn rope off.
You did really fast.
But anyways, okay, the International Committee of Red Cross wants to they want to punish war crimes in video games, which not literally in real life, obviously, but they pretty much want to inform gamers about what's illegal, especially in games of war, shooting civilians, torture, attacking.
Go fuck themselves! Seriously?
So basically Modern Warfare 2?
I know. What am I going to have a little thing pop up before I shoot everybody in Modern Warfare 2 saying, by the way, if you do this in real life, that is a war crime and you will be executed. Like, well, no fucking shit. If I did this in real life, I'd be executed. I get killed in the fucking game for doing this, for God's sakes. It's not like my character walks away scot-free going, la 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 la. No, he shoots a bunch of civilians and his partners betray him because they know he's American. And yes, I can't spoil it because it's over 5 years old, so suck it. Yeah, literally, fuck you. Red Cross, I was good with you. I had no problems against you. I was like, you help people out, you're charity, but now you want to interfere in my video games? I'm sorry, when I'm playing Trevor, fucking torturing somebody, I don't want a little sign popping up saying, waterboarding's really not that great of a thing. Please inform everybody. Like, go fuck yourself. It's a
Waterboarding
game.
with gasoline, mind you.
Was that gasoline?
Well, it was in a gasoline can.
I know it was in a gasoline can, but I don't know if you just put water in it or something. Either way,
I like to think it was gasoline.
Yeah, I like to think it was too, because him ingesting anyways was going to be bad for him. So, anyways, yeah. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Because Brandon just exploded there.
Okay, this news story makes me think of an idea for just like a horribly shitty game that would work perfectly with the Red Cross's idea of telling you what's illegal and not. Anyways, the game it puts you through scenarios where you have to obey the law to the best of your ability, and anytime you break the law, trying to do your objective, you lose points. And it's all about score, and see, that's just a dumb game.
No, that actually could be an interesting game if it was done right, Dustin.
It could be okay, but I mean, like, you don't pop in GTA 5 with the idea. I mean, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's in the damn title.
I know.
Like, if you don't understand that, like, I don't know.
It was fun.
I don't know. We just have biased opinions about video games aren't bad, because they obviously aren't.
They aren't bad. That's not a biased opinion, Dustin. That's just a fact. They're not bad. It's not like I was playing Grand Theft Auto and once I beat him, like,
it is a biased opinion.
That's not biased. You know.
We like video games.
No,
if we can defend them in any way, we're going to. I mean.
Yeah, well, of course we're going to defend them. But we also have, like, they say, like, video games make people violent. I was like, okay, raise a hands. How many people have we attacked in this year alone?
432,806.
Well, okay. Besides Nick, who is actually, I think maybe this whole story is about Nick. They're like, yes. I mean, if they really wanted to make a shitty game, Dustin, your thought kind of had me have a horrible idea in my mind where it's just like, you know those horrible, like, infomercials where they're just like, if you donate just 10 cents a day, you can help this child eat. Because apparently they eat dimes, you know. You know, they just have a whole game that's like that. We're just playing really depressing music and you're just walking. Your character is just, you're a Red Cross. You play as the Red Cross walking through these disasters and you're just like, and your whole objective is to help people. If they want to make a game, by all means, go for it. Make it free for fuck's sakes. I mean, it's not like you're going to get people paying for it. So just make it some shitty game, make it for free, and there you go. You could depress the ever-living shit out of everybody, and then guess what? No one will still donate money.
The spokesman came out and said that they're not trying to censor games. They just want people to know what's, illegal, which, I mean, that's what we're talking about here, but...
My logic, okay. Obviously it's fucking illegal.
No, it's not like I'm gonna be like, hey Nick, come over, let's try waterboarding, just see what happens. We're gonna just see if it's fun or not. Like
killing people is illegal.
I know. I was like, that's been illegal since before modern civilization, basically. I mean, killing people has always been illegal. Torturing people, I'm not saying it's right, governments do it, but it's not, that's in a gray area where, well, America doesn't do it. I was like, yes, you do. Shut up. Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie.
There's variables. Anyways, as in the quote, they said, the fear is eventually such illegal acts will be perceived as acceptable behavior, which, I mean, unless you're 5-year-old and don't know what the hell you're doing, I don't think it's really a problem. Anyway. Exactly.
This sounds like it's coming from a really old person who thinks society is changing too quickly.
It does. It really does.
It really does. Like, where they're like, children are using the F word. That's, the morals of today are just going downhill. I'm like, no. The morals of today aren't from the 50s. Women don't have to be home in the kitchen anymore. Even though they should be. No, I'm kidding. God. The thoughts of Brandon aren't really Ben. This is just a character he is playing. Please do not hate the Bloody Screen podcast.
That voiceover was also a character.
Yeah, the voiceover is also a character. He is not actually... I really wish I could meet someone who had that Micro Machines voice where he could just talk that fast. Anyways, next, anyone else, like, Nikki G, what do you think of this? Because you just read the news story.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, I think the one thing they're not talking about, censoring or even banning anything. They're just talking about informing people, and I'm fine with that, but, I mean, you might as well just have a, little trophy, a little achievement pop up in the corner saying the more you know on it.
Dun, dun, dun. I know.
But my logic is, I feel like it pissed me off, you you play in Grand Theft Auto, you steal someone's car. Stealing cars is illegal. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
I'm in Nick's boat here. I'd be offended that they think I'm stupid.
Well, was it even supposed to be in-game, or was it just like a program that would just kind of target gamers, but it wouldn't be in the games or anything?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting
point.
at.
That's the next point.
Regardless, if they think I'm stupid enough to not know the difference between legal and illegal activities...
that can be kind of confusing sometimes.
Like what?
Like Colorado is a very good example, man.
Well,
we're like half illegal marijuana. Like, I don't even know.
Well, okay, the marijuana thing, one, in video games you really rarely ever do drugs. That's still kind of taboo in video games. I say rare, I mean it's not, you still do them, like Grand Theft Auto, you actually do drugs.
Yeah, I mean, for shits and giggles, you can go to your house, hit the bong as much as you fucking want.
Yeah, I mean, you can do drugs, but it's something it's still kind of a taboo thing. Kind of like seeing boobs in games still. It's still kind of like this, like, whoa, wait a second. Which is always kind of weird, what lines we draw as is in video games. Where it's just like, oh, it's okay to chainsaw something in half, and see their guts file everywhere, or it's, but, you
see a little bush.
Yeah, I know, you see,
Lord be.
Yeah, you see bush and tits, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, there's children in the room. Or, they start hitting a bong, you're like, whoa, whoa! They were getting drunk, that was fine.
And mostly anything, like, negative about children is automatically never in video games.
Children is a huge one. The only time I've ever killed a child in a video game was a zombie child. And I'm gonna be honest with you. What?
Dragon Age Origins.
Oh, you're right. Okay, there is one time you can kill a child. And that's the story plot point where, you can. But, I mean, there's not a game, like, you don't put in Skyrim, even though they have that mod where you can kill the kids, but you can't kill kids in Skyrim. I know, I said they do.
That's what I'm saying, like, it's a mod. You can do anything with mod. That's the whole reason Oblivion was even rated M to begin with.
I know, honestly. God, that pissed me off. Well, you can take off your clothes. I'm like, what kind of sad, pathetic human being do you take me for? Where I'm like, oh yeah, this woman standing perfectly still with these animated, pixelated breasts. I think I'm gonna rub one out. Jesus Christ.
You too? Oh man, good. I thought that was just me.
It is, honestly, I know this kind of goes against my character of, how much I like murder in video games. I really don't care if I can murder kids or not in video games. It's not something I think they need to do. I mean, it's not...
Sometimes they do.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, when you make them annoying, yes. I agree with that. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I know, they need to go. But, it's just one of those things. Alright, next news story, though. Yeah, next news story.
Alright. Well, Capcom is laying off half of their European staff.
Jesus, why?
Well, as I quote, the following of the reconstruction of its U.S. operations, Capcom European is going to be evaluating its construction and is going to be making market changes to condition the industry is facing. Yeah, I don't know what that even, it just says that.
Basically, they're downsizing because they're not making enough money. That's what I'm taking away from that.
Yes.
Like,
it's just Europe, though? Makes me wonder if...
Yeah, it's just European.
If that's like their big branch or a little branch.
Honestly, Dustin, I actually think that the Europe branch is probably their smallest one. Because I know Japan, they have probably a pretty big audience. In America, they have a decent-sized audience. Europe, I don't know how big of an audience they'd have in Europe,
How do you think? Their most popular games are Americanish and really Japanese.
That is very true. Like their most popular franchises are the Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, and Dead Rising.
I would have actually said Resident Evil over Dead Rising.
Resident Evil's going downhill though. Dead Rising's going uphill. So.
Resident Evil, I guess Resident Evil had it big back in the 90s.
Yeah,
and early 2000s.
Resident Evil was big, but it's really lost its fan base. But we're not going to try to dispute this over. I mean, actually, we're in agreement, so it's really not disputing at all.
They're both big.
Well, Resident Evil's still big. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think Resident Evil 6 was a bad game at all. But
it wasn't as good as like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as I agree. 4 was fun. I didn't play as much as I played hardly any of it really, but I had a fun time with it. And 5 was fun. 6 was, I could see where
5 was fun because we played together. 5 by yourself sucked ass.
5 by yourself was cool when you're being Leon.
You're not Leon in 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying 6. Yeah, 5 alone I never played. I did play when I was overpowered for the fucking game.
Yeah, but you and me together, just the dream team.
Oh yeah, we were awesome.
When we beat that game in 4 hours?
On the second to hardest difficulty, we beat it quickly. Yeah. I mean, the hardest difficulty where you die in one hit, I wasn't.
We never even beat that.
Yeah, we got through a couple of missions and we're like, this is kind of a pain in the ass, and I have other things to do. But anyways, yeah. So they're Capcom's downsizing. That sucks, and that's the only reason why I don't want to actually be in the industry itself, because even big companies like Capcom, EA, doesn't matter. You have a very high possibility of being laid off. Actually, what's really kind of shitty is the people who are more likely to, it's a weird thing. If you're on the big team, not saying Call of Duty big, but say if you worked on the team at EA that worked on, say, let's think, like the Medal of Honor series. You're like, oh yeah, we're making big games. We have to shove them out as quickly as we can. You are more likely to get laid off than the guy who's making those really shitty piece of crap games, because they pay him less than they pay you, so, they don't need him. They need you less than him. Because in the industry, it's actually cheaper to have a shitty developer basically develop the game and then have your top guys fix all the bugs.
That's pretty much what this article is saying. Is they're doing it to, cut costs.
Yeah, that's...
So it's literally, they're just dancing around the word, but it's like Brandon said, they're just laying people off. They're downsizing.
They're downsizing. They're laying people off. And, as long as they don't do that shitty thing, I forget what company did this. I'm trying to remember what company. There was a company that laid everybody off. It was a gaming company. Nikki G, you may know the answer to this. There was a gaming company that laid everybody off, but then they rehired everybody with a less salary. It was like their way of, basically, it was their way of just downsizing, but without actually downsizing, paying everybody less. It was really shady shit they were doing. Yeah,
I could vaguely remember it, but I can't remember the name exactly.
Yeah, I kind of wish I remembered what company did that, but it was a shitty thing they did. I was like, and of course the employee's going to say, yes, you just laid them off. They're not going to be like, no, fuck you. They're going to be like, yeah, I guess I'll take that same job I had.
Capitalism at its finest.
No kidding. Yeah, that sucks. What other news story you got for us?
Well, Xbox One, they're going to be keeping of course, they're keeping their Kinect, but the one thing that people were being worried about was that the Kinect was going to kind of scan your face and kind of send the information out, which, they've come out and confirmed that they're not going to do that. It's for privacy reasons, or...
They're not going to do that. The NSA is going to do that.
I know. I was like, come on, you can't tell me the NSA didn't back up a big old truck to Microsoft and be like, all right, take as much money as you like, and you let us just have an open source to your Kinect, and anybody using it, we're going to see. And I want to laugh. I'm going to laugh. In 3 years, we hear about a murder being solved because some dumbass killed somebody when his Xbox was on.
Xbox doesn't even need to be on. The Kinect stays on the whole time.
That's shit like that. That's what kind of pisses me off. I can't get in PS4 right now, but I could sure as shit get an Xbox One. I'm like, God damn it. They're like, you could pre-order an Xbox One. I'm like, why would I want that? Why the fuck would I want to connect?
You know why you can get an Xbox One? Because 1 in 10 people actually want an Xbox One.
No, exactly. That's still pretty. I don't think Xbox One's gonna do shitty like Wii U sales, but they're not even compared to what PS4 is getting. But you know what? Yeah, this is gonna sound really weird, but I'm kind of glad they're gonna have the Kinect with it, because maybe the developers, if every Xbox One comes with a Kinect, then developers can actually develop something cool to Kinect because they know everyone's going to have one, regardless. So they could be like, oh, finally we can do something cool with this. We can actually, you can, I don't know.
Yeah, see, you say that, but then, look at Kinect exclusive games like, I don't know, Star Wars Kinect.
I understand. This is, can't I hope? Can I?
No,
can't I?
You can't hope. I'm here to crush your hopes and dreams.
I know, honestly.
Nick, there's no root. They're looking for that innovation, man. You got to take risks to make change.
You got to, and I agree with that. That is true. They were actually willing to make a big risk and change the entire way the industry works with what they were going to do at E3, and we all bitched about it, except Dustin. I think you were kind of on the, let's see what happens. But everyone else was pissed off about it. I was pissed off about it. I was like, fuck you guys. I'm going with PS4. And they screwed the pooch, and, the problem is they tried to force this change on people. And that's one thing that Microsoft has a huge problem with. They try to force change on people instead of just letting it happen. You just gotta let it happen. People will eventually want to have a streaming service of games. They'll eventually want to, you can eventually control used games when the disc media is gone. You don't have to try to, no, we're pushing it. Get it out. Just do it.
Because, look how well PSP Go sold.
I know,
because
exactly.
They didn't have any discs.
That, and plus people didn't want to, that with PSP was one of the easiest things to hack, apparently. And you could honestly just get free games, which kind of makes me wonder, Brandon, why didn't you ever get a PSP if you...
Because you still couldn't hack it.
No, it was just, actually, it literally was just a software you download, and then you just plug it into your PC, and then you just install it.
And that's what I'm saying. Somehow, something would go wrong with you.
Something... God damn it. Okay, Nick, alright, just a little side note. Me and Nikki G were re-recording a Diablo 3 review, and guess what my computer did to me?
It crashed?
No, it automatically restarted itself because it wanted to do an update. It had to do an update when we were recording.
It didn't even have that, postponed thing?
No, it was telling me, hey, do you want to do this? I said, close, go away, leave me alone. It was either do it right now or close. So I was like, fuck you.
Yeah. No, you have to postpone that shit, man.
And it didn't give me the choice to postpone. It had two options, close or do it now. It was like...
I doubt it, but whatever.
Do you own a Windows 8? Does
anyone
here own a
Windows 7?
Yeah, Windows 8 can be a fucking asshole. Because it's just like, hey, by the way, we're doing an update now. So I'm glad it didn't do it during our hour-long show. It did it during our 20-minute review. So, which honestly, I'm just gonna write the fucking thing now because 2 times I tried to get an audio recording out and it just nope, not happening. It's like the devil himself, Diablo himself, is saying no. You will not tell everyone how great my game is. Last news story, Nicky G. Make a good one. Make a good one.
Make a good one. Oh, Brandon. Well, speaking of updates, Brandon, how much do you like your PS3 Gold membership or whatever the hell they call it?
My Plus.
Plus,
PlayStation
yes.
Plus.
Yeah. Why?
What's your favorite feature on that?
Free games.
All right. Well, anyways, pretty much now everyone who's not a PS subscriber or whatever.
PlayStation Plus, yeah.
Yes, why did I say Plus? Anyways, nowadays they're actually gonna be able to do the same ability when it comes to automatically updating their stuff, their software. Yeah.
I like that too. That is actually a really cool feature of when you get cause I had mentioned the free games. Perfect example of that. When I get this month's free game was Kingdom of Zombler, which I regretted never getting. I got to the end fight and I never beat him. I was like, oh fuck, I want to go back and play that game. It was this month's free game, and I pressed download. And the best part is, when I turn off my console, 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, it turns itself back on, and then it just downloads the whole game. It doesn't do the shit like what Xbox 360 does, where I have to have it on to download. It'll download in the middle of the night when I'm not at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm not even on. I'll stay up till 12, maybe 1, just, doing whatever. And then around 2, I'm like, I gotta wake up early, because I do that. And I clock out. And that's the perfect time for it to do its updates. And I love that. I fucking love that. And I hope the PS4 continues to do that, because that would be asinine if it doesn't. But the, PS3 has its problems, the whole fact of the only way to change from, HD to composite is to hold the power button and, do all that. You can't just be like, oh, by the way, unplug the HD, now you're composite. I have to actually do this stupid ass thing. So it has some flaws to it. Plus, yeah, also no one owns a mic on the PlayStation, so it's, yeah. I don't talk to anybody.
Even though it's easier to get a mic for the PlayStation than it is for the Xbox.
Easy, but more expensive.
Nah, it's just a Bluetooth.
Yeah,
Bluetooth's still more expensive than that wired headset.
You
Yeah.
can go on Amazon and get a Bluetooth headset for cheap as shit.
Yeah, probably. But by nowadays, yeah. But I don't know.
But you can also get an Xbox One for cheap as shit off Amazon too, so I just added nothing there. But Amazon, that's what I added. Hell yeah.
Fucking A, I kind of want to get Amazon as a sponsor, because that'd be awesome. I want to get any sponsor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that requires you to actually try.
No, actually, that just requires us to become our own domain and then just throw ads on our sites. That's all we have to do.
Yeah, like I said, try.
No, it requires money. That's the problem with the ads, is I have to actually pay a yearly fee just to be our own domain, which I have always wondered why that's an internet rule.
Because it takes space on someone's memory or computer or
their server or whatever the hell they're using.
Yeah, computers cost money to make.
Yeah.
That's what we're using right now.
To record us. Yes, exactly. I agree with you. It's just kind of, that's something I never knew for the longest time. I thought you could just get online and just create your own website and just whatever. You don't have to actually pay somebody to have a domain. I'm like, well, I can.
If you host it on your own machine, you can for free.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have to have your thing on all the time.
Which makes me laugh when you see, like, those websites like fuckyou.com.
Oh, yeah. Or those sites that say bloodyscreen.com and it's a t-shirt site. That makes no goddamn sense. I'm sorry. That really pisses me off how he has that domain. And when I go to it, I make t-shirts. And I with my own designs. I'm like, why do you call Bloody Screen? Oh, that's my name tag.
Because you screen you screen the shirt with a screen and ink on top, and maybe he uses red ink.
Maybe he uses
bloody screen.
Maybe he uses his own blood. He uses his own blood as ink and just stains your shirt with his blood. Who knows? But damn you, dude! Seriously, I almost wanted. God, I was like, at least ours made sense because that's something that happens in video games. Is bloody. Whatever. Fuck it. And I do remember we had one question from an actual question from Slapnut. His comment's gone now because when Nikki G changed the site, we got rid of comments. And I will have to say, Nikki G, what are you going to be doing with the comments?
I'm going to put them back in. It's kind of it's pretty much like an add-on, basically.
Now, do they have to sign into something to do this? Or, like, how does this thing work that you're talking about?
We can do a sign thing if we want to make sure, get rid of trolls or something. I mean, we can still manage it. It's just we won't know who's doing it. Well, that's basically if, I could set up just a dummy account, a dummy email, and put a little text box down there saying, if you want to comment, don't want to sign into your actual email, just, Bloody Screen commenter at whatever.com.
We already have a website, yeah. It was actually called the Bloody Screen Podcast at gmail.com. So we have a website, or Gmail already. We could accept emails, or we could just do like the comments thing where like if you don't want to put in your email, which would be understandable. Well, actually, either way, we're going to see your email probably. Actually, no, I don't see your email on the site, so it'd probably be better if you put it on the site because I'll never see it. But if you email us, I will see your email. So, I don't know. It'd be up to you. You just let me know where that's going, but we will have this thing here. Let me bring up the comment real quick. Slapnut says something about, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to ignore all your bullshit things from now on, Slapnut, and just answer if you actually have a question. And his actual question, should kids be able to play GTA 5? Like, if a kid walks in the store, should he be able to get a copy of it? Because technically it's not against the law. It's something that all the stores kind of regulate themselves, but it's not, no one will go to jail or get a fine for selling a kid, Grand Theft Auto. Does anyone believe? I don't know. Let's go around the table. Whoever answers first, go for it.
I think the rating system they have right now is fine. I mean, we can all wait. If you're a kid, then talk to your parent, and what your parent thinks is more important than what anyone else thinks, in my opinion.
So you think it should be if the parent decides, I'm going to buy here's the thing though. I agree with you for the most part. Like the parents should be in control what their kids can do and can't do. But some parents don't know about the industry or anything. Like, there's been talks about these parents go into like a GameStop or whatever and say, hey, I'm gonna buy I'm gonna pick up this GTA, and the kid's clearly standing there, can barely see over the counter, and the clerk actually says, man, this game really has blood, violence, drug use, and he explains everything, and all his friends have it. I think he should play it. Do you think that
if you're an incompetent parent, sorry,
you just think your kid is fucked? Then if you're an incompetent parent, your kid's going to be kind of if you want it really is that shady thing where I don't want them to say, hey, you put these laws in so kids can't do this anymore. But I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. Nick, EG, what do you think? And I'll be the last one to give my final thoughts because I talk a lot. So.
Well, I mean, you both bring great points there. I mean, for me, it's just I think both sides should be somewhat educated. Kind of like we said, if they go up and whatever place you're buying it from, they could tell the parent, this is a violent game. If you think your kid's mature enough, it's a parent's decision.
Yeah.
Either way, so.
Or just start a little campaign kind of thing, just informing about the ratings. I mean, I don't know who the hell doesn't understand the ratings. Yeah. I mean, there's some people out there that don't, I assume.
That's what I'm saying. Like some parents who don't play video games, they didn't grow up or whatever playing video games, or they just got out of them or whatever is the reason. There's some of them that I guess they don't look at the back of the box, or the kid just I want to play Grand Theft Auto. Like,
see, that's especially with Grand Theft Auto, it has a crime, a felony, mind you, as the title.
Yeah, that is true. It's
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it's about ponies and bunnies in the magical land of rainbows and smiley faces.
In the magical land of Grand, and you stop auto theft. You play as a cop, and you have to stop Grand Theft Autos. I don't know. See, it's just the fact of it's going to kind of sound weird coming from me out of all people, especially since there's certain games I just don't believe kids should play. I mean, there's just something, I'm not going to say they can't, let's pass a law, they can't play, but there's, like Grand Theft Auto, if I had a son, he would not be playing that game. I would be like, sorry kid, yeah, sure, you could go play it over your friend's house or whatever, I mean, I can't control that. But when you're here, you're not playing that game. You're going to go, you can play Call of Duty, that's fine. You're not going to play online or you can play online, just you won't have a mic. You're not going to be able to talk to people. That's weird.
I mean, violence, sure, whatever. They can see violence. They're going to see violence anyway. My thing is it's the language.
Yeah, the language, yes. You don't need your kid talking like a sailor, for one. Two, it's kind of this weird thing where I go with kids, especially with kids, the type of violence. They could, yeah, sure, you could show them Call of Duty, Halo. Those are really tame, violent, M-rated games. I don't really even understand why they're M-rated sometimes. Because they're really tame. I mean, you see a little blood splot, so what? I mean, you see that on TV now. That's fine. I'm talking about...
I get when Halo first came out and they showed blood, okay.
Yeah, well, in Halo 1, actually had kind of a cool thing I wish they would have continued, where you could go actually Patriot on their ass and sit there, just hit their back, and just the blood just keeps going and going and going. And sometimes with a pistol, it just looked cool because I just sit there, die, you son of a bitch, and I just keep hitting him until the entire room I was in was just covered in purple blood. And I'll admit, I was like 10, I was 10 at the time, but that's 10 years old. So I think when you reach in the preteens, you can start introducing them into bloodier games, and that's fine, go for it. And there's nothing wrong with violence. And like I show my nephew Borderlands 2. He doesn't, he just sees cartoons. That's all he sees. He doesn't understand it.
Yeah, well, that's not a very bloody game.
Yeah, exactly.
Either,
that's
so.
not, well, I mean, it's cartoon blood where it's like, it hardly even counts. And it is one of those things where I know this kind of goes against like a couple episodes ago when you heard me talking about fucking, God of War 3 and I damn near orgasmed just talking about some of the shit I did in that game. And then you hear me kind of being the responsible adult being like, well, kids really shouldn't be playing this, blah, 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 blah. I really, it's a certain age group. Like, do I think the rating system's kind of flawed? Yes. I don't think that you have to be 18 years older to play an M-rated game. I think, you could, you could be like, or 17, I guess technically is. Cause that used to piss me off when I was 15, 16 and all that. I'd be like, I can't buy it and yet I can play it, There's nothing wrong with me being able to play fucking Gears of War or whatever.
I mean, you could make a somewhat valid argument for, like, kids are more immune, or I want to say
sponges.
Immune. They're more likely to, like, take the negative from the game and maybe do something with it, but
I'm not.
I mean, it's like you can't. I don't think you can make that argument for real because like bad shit happens. Period.
Yeah,
the games are just here. They're not correlated to all the bad shit that happens anyways. Like, I mean.
Well, it does.
I don't know. I think responsible parents.
I'm not trying to make the argument saying, well, if kids play this, they're going to go steal cars.
Yeah, I know.
Just,
I mean,
they're still impressionable, though. They're still going to be. They are impressionable to a point.
They're more impressionable than adults.
Yeah, they're
that's the reason why we have the ratings. I'm pretty sure it's
exactly.
You know, like I don't know.
Well, like playing Grand Theft Auto, I know. Okay, driving like a crazy maniac is bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, I even think kids would know that. Kids would know, like, oh, I'm not going to try to get in a car and start driving like a crazy person. No. I'm, like, Nick, you made the thing with the language. That is a perfect example of what kids will take away from this.
I don't want them going around talking like Franklin and Lamar.
I know, exactly. I don't want them walking around going like, yeah, Mo, what's up, man? You know that.
Nigger. What did you just say? Nigger. Don't ever say that in front of black people.
That's so good Nick's a minority, because I, as a white man, I feel like I cannot say that word without just, like, I don't even have any white guilt. I just don't feel like I could say that word.
That's clearly white guilt, yo.
I don't know. I just don't feel like I can say that word. I know where my family originated from. We weren't even here during slavery, so I know that. So I don't have any guilt. I'm not saying they weren't bigots in the 50s, though. Fuck if I know that. I was not like I'm.
Brandon, we should totally make our show about the most controversial topics we can every week. I would. Yes.
Oh, we could try. I don't know. Nick, somehow Nikki G or me, either one of us seem to find these news stories where it just gets these topics, or I guess this one was a question this week where we're just fucking, I don't know. I personally still don't believe that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want kids walking around even talking like Franklin or anything. Or not Franklin, Trevor. I don't want them talking like him either. And that's the most thing they'll take away from this. It's not like they're gonna get a gun and start shooting people. No. They're gonna start talking like that, because they're like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. This is what cool is. And it's more or less how, like, kind of like how rap is. You know how when we were growing up in the, late 90s, early 2000s, rap was kind of a big thing. And kids
it still is.
Really big still.
It's big, but I don't see it. I guess in my college years I don't see this as often. But I remember a lot, especially middle school. Kids would actually copy on how their rap stars dressed. They would just be like, oh, he sags his pants and he, wears red shirts and all this. And this is cool. This is how I'm gonna dress.
Yeah, no, not
the light blue
Justin
tee.
Bieber.
Yeah, true. I mean,
the light blue tee with the buzz cut blonde hair.
God damn. I'd hope that.
I saw several of those actually.
Really? Yeah. It's that type of thing. Everyone, if those assholes that always try to dog on video games wanted to make a good point, they'd have to make the points we just made. They're not going to impersonate the violence. They're going to impersonate the language in that. I mean, you can't ban the language in an M-rated game, no. Or the way they dress, because that'd be stupid. I'm sorry, I know Trevor's a psychotic moron, but you have to throw him in a suit and tie. That's just how he has to dress.
I mean, what's the policy with movies? Like, if you say no, you don't get in trouble for selling a rated M game to a kid. What about selling a rated R movie? Okay.
Movies are, that's why the MPAA actually exists. The MPAA exists because the government does not interfere. There is no law saying that you can't sell an R-rated ticket to a minor. It's just all these, it might as well be a law, because
no, the Constitution, man. It's because of the Constitution. That's why it's separated.
Well, back when I was like 13, me and my dad went to go see Resident Evil 3 in theaters.
But you were with your dad.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you're with an adult, it's fine.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's just kind of a thing where every place regulates it that way as it is. It doesn't matter if it was a law or not, because that's just how it is nowadays. Like,
yeah, like I thought it was so weird. I totally interrupted you there.
No, it's fine. No, let's go for it.
But I always used to go with my dad to the liquor store.
Uh-huh.
Just to go with him, even when I was really little, and I don't know, I think now that was kind of weird.
Well,
Like,
you know what? I used to do the same thing. I used to go with my dad to the liquor store too, and I think the clerk could understand that this is a father's son, and he is clearly not going to give his son that beer because his son's like 10. So why would he give him that Coors? You know, that type of thing. But nowadays, if I go in, it
Some
might be a
people are
different
fucked
story.
up.
It might be a different story because I look older. I was with my dad one day and we were doing something. Someone mistaken us as friends. They didn't even think we were father and son. They're like, because I have a beard and he was clean shaved, so he looks younger and I look older. So they're like, wait, you guys are father and son? They're like, yeah. We thought you guys were like at least brothers or something. I'm like, no.
the worst thing is when like you're with your mom and they think your mom is not your mom.
That's one good thing is no one will ever make that mistake because my mom looks like a mom. So, god damn, I hope not. That'd be so disturbing. I've had that with my sister though, where I was with her. This was back in like early high school days. I was with her for whatever reason. We went to the store. And someone actually was starting to mistaken us as boyfriend girlfriend. That's like, oh god, that is so nasty. I had to call her sis just to make sure they knew what was going on. And she would call me brother because she saw the same look they were giving us. We're like, whoa, hey, don't get any ideas. We're just here to pick up some food. Nothing. Whoa, that's gross. We're not in Alabama. Okay, for God's sakes, you know.
I feel like if you got along better with your sister,
sense.
you probably would have rolled with it. Like if you saw that, like your sister would be like, no, get off me. You're like, oh, I love you.
I don't know.
But that would require you to actually be able to stand being around your sister.
Yeah, only Nick has really met my sister and he kind of knows what kind of human being that is. That is a creature from the other world. I can't even explain. Yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of a weird thing to be talking about on air, but you know, when your own parents are like, you know, they're kicking her out, and they don't even like her. That is telling you something.
The two people in the world obligated to like her
don't even like her. Like seriously, it's like one of those things where I got like when I made her cry that night, and I was like, you know, when I actually told my parents like, where are you going? I'm like. And she talks like a bitch, she gets treated like a bitch. They're like, okay. I'm like, I just started laughing. I was like, that is awesome. But, yeah, let's get away from that.
When it's true. When it's true.
Yeah, like, well, when the bitch fits, you know. Okay, we're over time, though. That is it, everybody. What a weird way to end this goddamn show. Talking about Brandon's personal life. Oh, God. So, as of right now, until Nicky G gets whatever he's doing set up, because I'm still kind of confused. I'm not going to lie. When he gets whatever set up, if you would like to ask us a question, or, well, you can't really comment at the moment on our shit, but if you'd like to ask us a question about anything, or let us know how we're doing, or anything like that, just ask it, or, you know what, fuck it, even comment on about one of our videos, you must send an email to bloodyscreenpodcast@gmail.com. I'll say it again, bloodyscreenpodcast@gmail.com.
Or comment on any of the YouTube videos.
Or, yeah, any of the YouTube videos, because I probably will not see them, because honestly, I rarely check the page. So, that is it, everybody. Any closing statements?
Potato.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye. There's a respectable one. Good night.